Today we need to have a real discussion about Heroic Kyros. Of course, I do got my hands on him thanks to the devs of a Wayfinder Airship Syndicate, who did send me a early build and a early preview of the game to play to check out to make some video for you all. So big thank you to them for that. And with that came pretty much everything in the game unlocked. And in return, now we can actually look at what is the difference between Heroic Kyros as well as regular, since I know there's been a very hot topic in the community of the character being $150. And don't get me wrong, no other stuff with him, but more or less $150 to get him, and how if you don't buy the founder pack at that price, you will never get your hands on him ever again after the first 6 months. But is he really more powerful, and is he really that big of a deal? Today we're going to be discussing all that, and of course before we hop into this, I do want to give a giant thank you to of course everybody that is subscribing over on Twitch, Patreon, and of course memberships here on YouTube, and also a super big thank you to 1K for subscribing at the Lunar Till over on Patreon. So with that, let's jump into this and let's discuss, is this Heroic kind of just bad? And bad in a bad way, or does it really matter in the end? So let's go ahead and start off here with the character. With it being a preview build, they give every single character unlocked at level 30 with all the items, weapons, everything. But let's just go ahead and look at the Kyros as is. What are they like at level 30 with the same weapon or with the same equipment on said weapon, and nothing else beyond being max level, and how do they actually appeal to each other? So to start off here, let's go ahead and look at normal Kyros here. So to start off here with him, we do have ourselves his 4 abilities, which if you want more information on exactly what his ability is, I will have a video, if not always, it should be out by now, going into everything you need to know about him from playing as him, as well as a breakdown of his ability. So his abilities are the same for, and I believe so, his overdrive ability or his passive ability, we will go into detail in a moment to figure out if I'm right about that, but nonetheless his default for ability is identical to Heroic. But the main thing that come into play here is the one we actually go and select the Heroic version. We will start noticing something is a little different here with that version. So to start off, is pretty much every stat is indeed better. So your health, your resistance, your weapon, your ability power, quit weight, quit power, break power, a defense, and a magic defense. Everything is more powerful. But if we go ahead and look at the stats itself, we can go ahead and start seeing a little bit of a difference here. So to start off, a regular Kyros does have 34 less HP, 41 less resistance, 228 less weapon power, 367 ability power. So that right there is probably the biggest I get downgrade there, is with ability power, which is of course how powerful your base attacks are, or your special attacks are, which is from your hotbar. We have 61% down in critical weight, critical power as well, 56 down from a break power, and 62 down in defense and a mag defense as well. So as you can see here, like most of the stats, it's like not that big of a deal until we get to ability and weapon. That is the biggest distance here between the two characters themselves. But let's go ahead and look at their abilities, which once again have not been upgraded at all. They are stuck at, well, level 0, I guess you should say. And of course, we do have, but let's go ahead and let's look at the Heroic version of the character himself. So to start off, as you can see, it's still the exact same ability. Like I said, only this and it. For the regular version, he will have let and quit. So abilities are not changing at all. And then of course, when we get to Echoes here, you can see we have a grand total of 300. I get points, or I get capability to put on Echoes with 5 Echoes. And if we go ahead and look over here with Heroic, we will notice another distance here. So to start off, the big distance here, well, regular edition, we'll go ahead and have 5 Echo slots at 300. Heroic have a grand total of 6. So you will get access to 1 extra ability, as well as, of course, having a little bit more capability to hold any more Echo slots. Since, well, regular edition only can hold up to 300, Heroic can hold up to 330. So if you're curious about what that actually translates to, is of course, if we go ahead and head on over to our Echoes here, pretty much Echo, I get to just streamline it down to bare minimum. I will go into more detail about Echo in a future video, but just know these are pretty much, I get the best way to describe them would be, if you're a PSO player, would be augments. If you are a Final Fantasy player, it's just material. So as you can see, there is installability to these. And of course, as you can see, they do require a decent amount here. So if we go ahead and equip this as an example, that will of course bring our overall stats up to pretty much almost maxed out. And we can only equip some of the other. But the other thing of importance here that you might notice here about the affiliate, that is indeed distance. Since he does have 6 of these and not 5, we do get 1 more combo happening. Because the way they operate is the symbol that is net to the Echo. If we go ahead and we match these symbols together, we can also then get ourselves a little bonus that will work in tandem to enhance each other. As you can see, that is also not that great, since you will of course have yourself indeed a more powerful character between the 2 stats, and as well as the extra 30 to your capability for Echo, and the 1 extra slot. Heroic is stronger, it does have more HP, it does have the possibility of becoming even stronger with Echoes, since you got more fate to work with when attaching them. Overall, yes, you are spending money for more power. Obviously, that's what's happening here in every way. But the question will be here is, do you personally care about it literally just being a little bit more powerful? If you count, you know, if you count all this downgrade as a little bit of power. Once again, there was no PvP or anything in this at the time of the video. This is very much does feel like one of them cases. Kind of just sucky in a lot of ways. I understand why they're doing it, because they have stated the reason they are doing it is for the people who want support at the higher tier to get something special. But at the same time, it does feel like character, depending on how dungeons and ways and stuff shakes out in the long term, this does kind of open the possibility of the character being pretty much best in slot for the most part, at least as of now. We, of course, have to wait till the game come out to get into the nitty-gritty to verify that. But at least at first glance, it does indeed seem like it is the best character in the game, hand down. Because if we go ahead and we look at all the other characters, like, don't get me wrong, Venomant does have a little bit better. But obviously, as you can see, our weapon ability is also, or weapon power, I should say, is extremely low. So is our ability and a quarter break. If we look at our boy Silo, he is pretty much work out to be the same as well. If you look at to Asinja, You can see she also have a lot of work part to her. Same thing, go for Nets, and of course, as well as Windgrape. So pretty much the way to look at it right now, well, every character elite have 3 to 4 weaknesses or balance against each other. Kaiser, or heroic version of him, is indeed powerful than every character in the game right now. So, once again, this is super unfortunate. I get it, but it's not ideal. I will fully admit this is not ideal, and this is not a very good look to start off with, especially with them stating the main plan for this is to make everything to be able to get in the game if you want to go that route and accept for this. Personally, I wish they would have found something that wasn't character related or power related, but obviously they decided not to go that route. And we do know in the future there will be other heroic characters, which hopefully they won't be portable only. Hopefully they will be farmable. But for all we know, the heroic stuff might just be tied to money. We don't know yet. We want to wait and see how that flush out. Overall, I do gotta say, this is a little disappointing, and hopefully to answer your question, if you are curious, or were curious, if he is any worth $150 plus the other stuff you get with that. A founder pack, but nonetheless, hopefully you found it useful in one way or another, and if so, make sure you do thumbs up, subscribe, hit all the bells so you don't miss out on any more Wayfinder videos here, since we got so many coming. And also, if you're watching the video at the time of release, more than likely I am live with Wayfinder right now as we are working our way through the full version, or I get the early access version of the game. And of course, if you're jumping in, come say hi, let's party together, let's have a good old time in Wayfinder. Because any with it new, I am still looking forward to Wayfinder for the coming week. Or I guess at the time you see this video, it will be officially out. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and do it for me. And I will of course see you in the comments.